Hello, friend. I want to tell you about the Dacia Duster car. Dacia Duster is one of the more interesting SUVs, certainly the cheapest. The same can be said about used Dusters. What to look for when looking for this model? If you want to buy a Dacia Duster, you should start with a simple verification of these desires. This is a budget car and looks better in photos than in reality. It's mainly about the interior. Only a taste behind the wheel can make you realize what the magic of the Duster's price is. The car is not comfortable. It is not functional. The cabin is poorly soundproofed, and the materials wear out quite quickly and are simply cheap. If you get through the first stage, the next one should be a choice between an economical diesel or one of the petrol engines. I recommend both, although I think the Duster drives best with the DCI 110 diesel engine. Its petrol equivalent is the 125 horsepower supercharged 1.2 TC petrol engine, which currently causes no problems. The older 1.6 engines can be divided into two generations. From the beginning of production, these were Renault designs marked as 16.5, with 105 horsepower or 102 in the LPG version. Since 2015, a more powerful 114 horsepower Nissan engine marked SC 115 has appeared. If you decide to install LPG, I recommend a French engine. However, the Japanese one should be more maintenance-free due to the use of a timing chain. The Renault engine has a rather sensitive belt drive. The Nissan design currently shows no weaknesses, while the Renault has minor ignition problems and a timing drive that requires care. The third step in the purchase process should be to decide 2WD or 4WD. Four-wheel drive has almost nothing but disadvantages unless you plan on driving off-road and live in a mountainous area. It limits trunk capacity, increases weight, fuel consumption, and potential service costs, both suspension and drivetrain. With four-wheel drive, the Duster is a real tank in the crossover segment, and it is hard to find a worthy competitor. 4WD was offered in all engine versions of the Duster, except for the petrol, with factory LPG and 85 horsepower diesel. You shouldn't bother yourself with Duster's faults. Most of the ones you hear about somewhere are isolated cases. There are quite a few of them, but it's hard to write about typical faults as such. The ones listed below can happen, but in Dacia, it's a lottery. Typical Dacia Duster faults: ignition coil failures in the 1.616V engine, timing drive failures in the 1.616V engine. Replacement every 100 kilometers solves the problem. Minor corrosion of the body and chassis. Cracked windshield. Water leaks into the interior. What to look for? The youngest, serviced copies possible, because the car loses its charm quite quickly. Remember about the equipment. Some Dusters are very poor in this respect. What to avoid? Cars that show clear signs of off-road use. Thanks for listening to me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and rate my video. If you know of any problems with this car that I haven't mentioned, be sure to write about them in the comments.